There's nothing that they don't talk about that doesn't strike a chord.
I just wanted to be a man, something you could never do.
It's so powerful and so pressing. It's like being in a sound chamber with really loud music. I think the journalists who don't employ an art form in telling their story are failing.
As YouSpeaks has really grown over the last 17 years, we've really noticed that more and more young people are talking to each other through their poems. The stage has become a place for true communication and sort of a real true call for action.
So the Off-Page project is kind of the intersection of youth voice and civic engagement. It's combining YouSpeaks storytelling, storytellers, and young people with the hard facts and investigating truths of CIR's journalism.
Well, I actually have a lot of data and information that has been gathered recently about Stockton.
To like see the numbers, to see like actual straight up facts of like how bad
much money,
like, how deep we've actually dug ourselves, that like it's like astonishing. It's ridiculous.
We spent over 10 weeks of workshops in Stockton working with the With Our Words Poetry Collective around issues of economic crises.
Total, the complex costs more than $135 million in bonds, and with its interest, it will cost the city $1 million a year over 30 years to pay back the $10.9 million it rated for the arena complex.
I never even knew that.
That's hella money.
From the time that I've spent working with CIR, I think that oftentimes we depend on the anecdotal story. We depend a lot at YouSpeaks on the individual experience, and it's nice to have an agency or an organization that can provide some factual basis for some of the individual experiences that our young people have, articulate, and express.
Why are they taking money away from school? That is dumb. Like, why would you try to lessen their people's chances of becoming smart because they have outdated books? And
oftentimes, without those actual reporting mechanisms, without facts, it can be easy for adults to not take young people seriously or to not really acknowledge the challenges that they are actually experiencing.
The collaboration between YouSpeaks and CIR is a perfect one.
Right here. That's Stockton, Fresno, Oakland, and San Francisco are currently suing over a dozen of the big banks and financial brokers because there is evidence that the banks organized amongst themselves.
And what came out of it was a handful of amazing poems that literally cite some of the statistics that are in CIR's reporting about Stockton.
Stockton, California owes the people of Stockton $31.5 million.
But also provide a different lens of the economic crises.
From the bullets of debt, the bonds were never paid. The banks played the city like a damn arcade.
The journalism isn't just another way of telling the story. The part that's really compelling is it real?
The poets understand exactly what they're doing. They're telling a story, and they're telling a story to have an effect. And I think that's what our job ought to be, to tell stories and have an effect.
You know, there's fact-finding, but storytelling is how people really relate to something. So the ability to tell a story is universal.
209, Killer Cali, Murder Valley, Stockton.
There's information and then there's storytelling, and then when you can combine those, you're really going to reach the audience in terms of touching them.
It's the storytelling that provides hope for the audience. It gives them a sense that there are actions that can be taken to counter some of the pain that young people have endured.
Stockton, it's dangerous up in here. The murder rate is a murder race in here. 71 deaths in Still County.
Stories that are uncommon are often left in silence.
Stocktonians are known for relentlessly trying. I got my thumb up, my one up, so I have no fear of dying. So I'll just kick.
We try to create spaces to bring them to light and make it a fair, open, and safe space for young people to feel like they can tell those stories without judgment.
And the funeral homes are popping. Death's got a discount, 209% off, and he needs to do his summer shopping.
My hope with the Off-Page project is it really tells young people that they matter. And when young people learn that their voice matters, they learn that they matter.
So Stockton, open your mailbox and prepare yourself for what's coming. It's a reality check, not a welfare check.
These different platforms that YouSpeaks is creating with organizations like the Center for Investigative Reporting allow young people to be empowered and to gain new tools and new resources to empower and educate other young people.
In my imagination, my dream is to have some kids from YouSpeaks standing behind Jerry Brown as he signs legislation that arose out of a poem that they did based on a circumstance that needed changing and fixing.
With the goal being to really change things on a local level in their own community as members of the Brave New Voices Network, but also to be part of a larger movement of social change on a national level. And I think Off Page Project is kind of spearheading that effort.